My sister invited her new potential boyfriend to the family dinner, and I started crying the second I saw him. My sister has always been a crazy competitive person. That's why I didn't think twice about it when she randomly announced to our parents that she had a new potential boyfriend coming over for dinner. Our mom politely asked her what new potential meant, and she said that the man worked for the same company she'd started at a few weeks ago. She described him as the complete catch. Her goal was to impress him over dinner, and hopefully he would ask her out on a real date. I rolled my eyes but kept my mouth shut. So did our parents. Our family met once a week for these dinners, so I guess we all silently agreed to let her make this one as awkward as possible and try to forget about it by next week. But my sister wasn't done with her antics. Our mom asked us to peel and cut the potatoes, so we were doing so at the dining room table to clear up room in the kitchen. I guess since we were alone, my sister decided it was the best time to brag about the man she wasn't even dating yet. She went on and on about how good looking he was, how polite, and of course how he was high enough in the company to make very good money. I continued to keep my mouth shut and just keep peeling and dicing. She then mentions how great it would be if he had a nice place so that she could move out of her apartment with her roommate. All I say is basic advice about not jumping at moving in together too soon, and my sister immediately acts agitated. She says, "I bet you would jump at the chance. I'm not the one living with our parents." I grit my teeth. It was true. I was living with our parents while I worked both a full-time and part-time job so that our mom could watch my son. I didn't live there rent-free. I refused to take advantage of them. And over time, the situation turned out to be best for everyone since our dad has been needing extra help around the house due to mobility issues. Everyone was happy. But to my sister, I was a loser for having a son and not a husband, and for living in the same house as our parents. I don't bother to say anything to defend myself because what was the point? She would only attack me in some other way, and our family dinner would be nothing but dramatic chaos. I try to switch the subject. You know, if this guy was crazy enough to agree to meeting family for your first time hanging out outside of work, then he probably already likes you. Just ask him if he wants to go on a normal date. Number one, he needs to ask me on a date, not the other way around. And two, my sister leaned in close to me. He doesn't know he's meeting you guys today. I knit my brows. What now? She smiled and shrugged. I heard he flat out rejects anyone who tries to date him and that he only hangs out with groups of people outside of work. So I told him he'd be meeting with a group of people from my department. The devil on my shoulder is telling me to stay quiet and let things unravel on their own, but the angel on the other shoulder tells me to at least warn her that it was going to hit the fan. I shake my head. That's a good way to get him to never like you or trust you. Why did you think that was okay? This time she rolls her eyes because I overheard him talking to another coworker about wanting kids and stuff, but apparently he's waiting on someone special. I think that's code for being too lazy or afraid to put yourself out there and find somebody. My face is burning, and I know I must look like a tomato. She said the last part while looking right at me because that was what I always said back when everyone asked if I was going to try dating again. There was someone special out there for me. We just never crossed paths again. I managed to avoid my sister for a while after that, up until this potential boyfriend arrived. She asked all of us to sit casually in the living room as she brought him in. We all mentally prepared ourselves for cringe. When my sister brought him into the room, I recognized Julian immediately and felt tears building up. He recognized me too, and in the next second, Julian was holding me in a tight hug. My parents and my sister looked on in shock and confusion. My sister then asked, what the hell is going on? I ignored her and looked up at him. "You need to follow me now." My sister yelled after us, but I led him upstairs where my son was playing on his Xbox. Julian stood in the doorway with his jaw dropped, and my family caught up with us. Immediately, they all saw it. He and my son were almost the spitting image of each other. Julian asked me, "Is that?" I nodded. "Yes, that's our son." My sister then started screaming for an explanation, so he and I came clean. We dated for just a few months many years ago. We were both head over heels for each other, but he had to leave the country to take care of his terminally ill father. There was no telling how long we would be separated, so we decided to break things off and leave it to fate. I had no idea I was pregnant until after he left.